I just left Stuckism at a certain time because I felt it wasn't strong enough anymore, this remodernist element. And this was what I was originally interested in the movement. And when it came back when Joe approached me in the beginning of the year, I was just really excited that it's found its way back, because I was a month ago beforehand at Christmas, I was writing a Christmas card to Bill thinking, wouldn't it be nice if something like of these remodernist ideas would be put back into practice and back into another movement. And then one month later, there was this email from Joe asking me.
I'm very interested by ideas and how ideas are generated, how things happen. And I think this is the journey that we're on here, and obviously the reason that we've come here, because we're individuals that have a certain mindset and have agreed to come together for the purpose of self-confrontation through art. And coming to see Mary at her, well, I suppose you could call it, you called it yourself, a retreat here, has provided us all with a magnificent opportunity to reflect upon what the self-confrontational process means to us, and individually and as a group, and how it manifests itself.
And Stuckism was the first remodernist group, and it was there really to break into the art world a lot of these ideas. I think now Collective Remodernism, the new group that's taking this movement further, that's moving the movement along, is going to open up all kinds of avenues that weren't explored before, because it will encompass psychology, it will encompass politics and philosophy, whereas I think the Stuckist part of it was only looking at painting.
This is what the Institute of Collective Remodernism is dedicated to exploring, how the individual projects their unconscious impulses through their work and through their life, and to use analytical methods in as wide a ranging sense as possible to be able to define the creative process and refine the creative process. We have spent much time on this trip to Lowenhagen in discussion and talking, and this is what we are, attempting to do, to get people together to talk.
It's been fantastic. It's been extremely inspiring, and what, again, I have to say that again I find very inspiring was the way how there was a generosity within every encounter, and it being very relaxed. There was no sense of stiffness, no sense of, okay, I mean, it could have been easy it could have been easy a tense feeling coming up, like we could have felt, well, we've got to get something going here. Instead of that, people started to work, and that was probably the best bit, in a way that came by itself, and it came so natural, and at the same time the conversations were happening, so it was lived, it wasn't constructed, it was not like there was an idea and we had our notes on the paper and following it through, but it was a very alive process.
People are working incredibly hard. You would have thought this is holiday time, but that's not happened. People are working extremely hard and developing new ideas because they recognize that this is a possibility for another direction, or, and interestingly enough, kind of a coming together in some sort of way. Even though our work, we do have diverse ideas about how to get to the same way.
I didn't know what to expect. It's an amazing place.
takes a long time to get out here. I mean, we spent 8.5 hours on the train, but it's worth, I think, all the heat and the uncomfortable experience of being on the train just to be out here, because it just seems that nothing else matters. And here you have a community of artists here in the, you know, the von Stockhausen sort of, I don't know, grounds, I suppose, and community, if you could call it that, who are engaged in the process of painting because they like painting, really, because it's something that needs to be done, and it's something that I can readily identify with straight away. There are, for all intents and purposes, put together a group of people and come up with a working method which is, I suppose, based upon the way that I do things, but other people will bring what they can to that. And that's whatever they do is relevant, but it must be within the self-confrontational, I suppose, side of what we're doing. People have to be able to show that and not be afraid of doing so.
I like the humanistic part of it, and I like the fact that it is to do with people and how people interact, and the idea of self-knowledge is very important to me.
4 elements here, and the element are eating, always with a cross. And this we have in the architecture. And this is the symbol for technique. And this is, yes, a human being, it's a cross as well. You see, always you meet the cross.
Das ist das Christusmonogramm.
Aha, ja,
Und das ist das Andreaskreuz.
Ja, ja.
You couldn't actually say that we had a style that was ours. I don't like style very much anyway, but you know what I mean. Whereas what's in common is that is the search for something, and confronting the inner stuff that may be stopping you from looking at that thing.
No, I mean, the way that I see things moving forward with the next exhibition is to always be attempting to think ahead and to see how that we can move things onwards. The original Remodernist manifestos were written now 10 years ago. Collective Remodernism is in effect showing how we have moved forward. The original manifestos really provided the battering ram to get into the castle. Now we have to occupy the castle. But the castle is also part of everything else which is around us as well. And it's our responsibility, our personal responsibility to continue that dialogue.